All right. So the Relentless Game, turn life's chaos into power. We're here today and we're going to talk about the gut that you're putting on. As Christian men, I see this a lot. A lot of powerful Christian men. We actually this past Sunday we're kind of having this conversation. And it's a very, very knowledgeable theology wise guy that obviously can take a little bit better care of himself. And what I saw something too, and before we get really dive deep into it, was how he made fun of himself.
Yeah.
Did you see that part where he's like, I look goofy anyway with and it's like, well, no, you don't. You don't. You could be a good looking dude, but you're not taking care of yourself. And then in turn, you think with all these people are going to listen to you. So, this is where, and this is like we're getting into it is like this known problem. Like our body will tell us exactly what's going on with it. It's going to tell you whether you're overeating. It's going to tell you whether you're tired and you lack energy. It's going to tell you if your sex drive's in the dumps. And so the biggest problem is this gut that you're holding on to, this weight that you're holding on to. It's starting to bleed over into other areas of your life, and you're not seeing it. Or you're putting your hands over your eyes and it's starting to impact you. And so as a Christian man, what we know is like the devil is at our doorstep, and the devil would rather sedate you so that he can seduce you. So if you're not, if you're overeating and you're put on 30 plus pounds, if you get to 2 p.m. and you're lacking energy, and you start to reach for the sugar and the energy drinks. Like I see these like little pivots that guys are just like, hey man, why are you drinking Coke right before bedtime?
Yeah.
Why are you drinking coffee like at 4 or 5 p.m. as far as that stuff goes? It's like little things, because what's causing is it's making you, it's impacting your sleep. It's starting to impact how you wake up. And so now you're not getting in the Bible because you're tired and you're wore out and you're overwhelmed, and you've got all these other things that you're trying to figure out because you keep on pushing stuff off. So you're not getting in the Bible and getting into prayer time and some meditation time with the Lord that way. And these are things that you need to be and should be doing as far as that stuff goes. So it's that telling yourself that you're that this is the season, that this is just a busy part of my life, and this is just the way it's going to go down, and I'm doing this for my family, and I put myself on the back burner. No, that's going to continue to dig deeper hole and a deeper pit. Do you have anything you want to throw?
Yeah, I think your body, it reveals what's going on behind closed doors. And a lot of guys, like you said, you can cover your eyes and you can try to hide from it and try to look at all these other areas you are successful in business and all that other stuff. But it reveals, like, we know you're not eating right. And so that's why, like, you made a great point with that guy up on stage and, giving that message. But did you see how hard it was for him to get the attention of everyone else in there? He's like, come on, guys, like, listen to me. It's like, if that guy was just an absolute machine here and here, people would be like, he would demand respect, no doubt, without even having to try to reel them in and everything like that. And so, yeah, you don't realize that how much it bleeds over into, I think they, yeah, but I don't think that they don't realize how much it does bleed over into all the other domains of your life, because then it impacts the sex life that you have with your wife too. I mean, the confidence that you're going to have and then even the energy that you have to even want to be able to do that. And so there's all these other things. Well, business wise, how you show up at your business. And
I'm snapping at I've been the guy that was not following through and doing the stuff that he knew he needed to do. And like, things just went on and got underneath my nerves way more. And so like when I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm quick to snap on my best friend and my wife and cast that onto her as far as it was all the
frustration you had in yourself.
Yeah. And the same thing was like, if you don't have the energy, like then that means that you're not going with your kids and playing with your kids and going out and doing those things because you're too tired.
Yeah.
You walk into the bedroom and you automatically are self-conscious, and like I know how it is when you're not taking care of yourself. I've worked with tons of guys that when you're not taking care of yourself and you start to physically think about and you start to overthink, is this thing going to work for me? Because like it feels like it hadn't worked in a while because your testosterone's low and you feel like crap. These are the things that like most people won't talk about and won't say. And especially like in your small group at church and things like that, they're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
I just know that like the power that a guy can have when they are showing up and they are doing the work, and they are changing their identity of that, the way that they look, and they start to believe in themselves and they start to gain more confidence in themselves and stuff. So as far as that stuff,
like you said, we see it with guys that we work with, and this is I think a good example is a guy that me and you had just talked about yesterday that's trying to get out of our program, and we see the abilities that he has. Like, he's a pretty sharp dude. Like, he's got things going, right for him in his business, and he's got a lot of capabilities. But on the fitness side of things, he hasn't stuck to the nutrition. He hasn't communicated with me. I've been sending him workouts, and he's been very inconsistent. And that right there is making him lack confidence and thinking that he can even do all the things that we've had on the program. And we've laid it out simple for him. But because he can't even stick to a workout and stick to the food that he's eating, he thinks that he's in this little box right now because he is mentally.
That's what he's
But
done.
there's so much more that he can. Once he breaks through that, he's capable of so much more, and it's frustrating because we know what he's capable of. We see how sharp he is, but it's all because he won't take care of his body.
And it starts with stories that you tell yourself that makes you stop taking the action that you know you need to, and then you start to believe that story that you tell yourself is like, oh, I'm too busy right now to work out because I got too much other stuff going on. This is a busy season. Okay, that's the story. That story becomes a belief. And so then like it's something that's like unconsciously is ingrained in you, but that this is the belief that I have around working out, that I'm too busy right now. So anytime anybody mentions working out, you don't even think about it. You don't even look, because I don't have the time, because you've already ingrained that. That becomes then a rule in your life that I'm just always too busy and I'm just a busy guy and I don't like to work out and does this and that. And then that starts to become the law that you have. And it's like, oh, this is me. I'm too busy to work out. And you start to, oh, this is my fuel tank for a sex machine. Or you start to say these stupid things and start to like downgrade like who you are, and you forget the fight and the man that you used to be, and you see him, but he's in a fat suit right now. And so like that's what we're trying to do, man. It's like I'm trying to wake you up. Because that's what my calling is like to say things that you may collide with you right now and may make you feel uncomfortable. But on the other side of it is to show you that there's possibilities, that there's something that's different in you. And all you have to do is start to make some pivots right now. And so that's what we'll talk about next. I was like, what is the other side of it, that when you start to take control of yourself and you start to cast a vision on the version of yourself that you want to actually become? And we start to actually, and we'll talk about the results that we've seen in guys, but when you actually start to take the action that you know that you need to be taking inside your body, and you just raise your hand and say like, hey, Christian and Seth, I need some help. And you allow us to start helping you and showing you a direction. What are the changes that, and how does it start to impact like their possibilities in all the other areas when they start to build from there?
Yeah, well, we see guys show up more, whether it be calls that we have on our GA calls and all these opportunities that guys are shying away from because they don't have confidence. They don't think that they're capable of doing these things because they know that behind closed doors, they're lying to themselves. And so that right there is just defeating their confidence. But then like once we have guys that start sticking to the plan, start getting results, then they lose weight, they feel better, they have more energy, they start sharing more on the calls, they start speaking up a lot more just because they're more of a confident person. And if you have confidence like that, like the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Like once you start gaining a lot of confidence, you're capable of doing way more than what you thought you were capable of doing.
Your body does all the talking. So like I've been the dude who would talk a big game but was a hypocrite, and like my body showed like I should have been in way better shape than for all the stuff that I was talking. I should have been in way better shape, right? And so I know like the way people looked at me whenever that version of me showed up whenever I showed up in sales and I'm trying to sell people and talk to people about fitness, nutrition, and I'm 20, 30 pounds heavier than I should be. But I also seen whenever I took control of myself, how I showed up differently and how I could have powerful conversations and say things to other individuals that most wouldn't say because I had the results that backed it up. And a lot of you don't have the results to back it up, and you don't have the results, and it's starting to zap your power, your energy, your focus, your confidence. And what if we just made a pivot? What if you just started cutting off on the Cokes and the caffeine, and you started to cut your eating right before bed? And then we start taking some magnesium supplements.
Yeah.
And then you started waking up earlier, and you have a core 4, you have a powerful, predictable power that you could tap into first thing in the morning. And so you want to get in the Bible. You want to do a Bible stack.
Yeah.
You want to get a revelation of the next steps that you need to take in your life. So you can start to have a mission that you're working towards. And then you start to show up differently in the bedroom. Your kids start taking action. They want to go for walks with you and stuff now. All these things start to change because you stood up and you decided to make a change. But not only that, now you can lead, and I'm telling you this, you can lead people to eternal life and have tough conversations that you never had in the past as a fat dude. When you can stand up and you can be like, hey man, this is my mess and this is the problems that I've had. And then I took control of myself and I started to take and invest time with the Lord because I knew I needed to be doing this stuff, but I didn't have the energy or the focus to do it. And now I started doing this. Things start to change in your life and you start to have more of a calling that direction, that way. Your relationships changes with your wife and your kids, and they start to be, and your wife's like, there's that savage that I married a long time ago.
Yeah.
And you don't have to beg for sex. You just show up and she wants it more than you even thought about it before, because now you're back and you're leading like you're supposed to, but you actually feel like that having it too. And that starts to bleed over into like your business side of things and your career. You start to get more things done.
Yeah.
Your family not only your team starts to see that like this dude is on fire. You've seen it. That's like, you speak that into me. It's like, I watch Seth, man, and he's, 23 years older than me, and heck, he's not getting tired and stuff. It's because like I've invested and I've taken my health serious because I want to continue to get better and better. I don't want dudes like Christian to run circles around me as far as that goes. I'm not ready for that.
Not only that, your life has purpose. A lot of guys don't have targets. They don't have anything that they are waking up and having a clear game plan. This is what I got to get done today. And they're just going through the motions. And that leads to not taking action on these other things, whether it be getting a hold over your nutrition, whether it be having a workout plan that you're following. And if you don't have a purpose in your life, then how can you expect results to even come out of that?
Yeah. And that's the big thing is like when we look at it is discipline in your body. And like we've already simply explained this before, that discipline in your body, it starts to create alignment in all the other areas. Because now you start to like, at a soul level, you start to show up as the man that you're created to be. And it really starts like with an onion. It's like I shed that 20, 30 pounds off. Now I'm waking up early and getting in bed I'm waking up earlier because I'm getting in bed early and I'm changing my perspective around food and sleep and taking some supplements. Oh, now I'm getting in the Bible every day. Oh, now I want to speak up and I want to run a small group or show up in church a little bit more. And you start to have a calling there. Oh, my business is starting to change, or maybe it's not your business. Maybe it's how you're showing up, and you start to become a leader, and the leader in your business starts to realize, oh, this dude's showing up differently. I can use him in all kinds. Because imagine if you were 20, 30 pounds overweight, like I wouldn't be able to use you like I'm able to use you as far as like the weapon that you're able to, because people look at you and go like, damn, Christian takes care of himself. Same with me. It's like they go like, okay, well, these dudes are walking what they talk.
Yeah.
And people want to listen to individuals that are actually following through, because in this day, in this life, there's so many individuals that are talking a big game and they're not backing it up. And maybe their body's backing it up, but they're not backing it up in any other areas. But what we're looking at right now is like a majority of the guys that I mess with, that I work with, is if we don't get them physically to change and the way that they look and the way they show up, then we never physically get them in any other area to go and step into the version that they've been called to. It starts with the body over and over and over again. So
Yeah, there's just always that. There's always going to, if you don't get a handle on your body, there's always going to be that piece that's holding you back of what you're capable of. And who wants to live a life? We get one life.
Yeah.
Who wants to live a life where it's like, yeah, he was good in some of these areas, but he never took care of himself, and then that's why he passed away at the age that he did.
My dad. That's why we're sitting here. That's what my dad had it all. Like legit could like physically. He all he had to do is it was just some small pivots that he had to make. Quit eating 4 or 5 pieces of bread with every meal that you had.
Mm-hmm.
Quit overeating at night and quit drinking at night. There was just little things that if he would have pivoted, he had the business. He had the career. He was like, I remember walking in the cow sales with my dad and people being like, your dad is the man.
Mm-hmm.
And like that feeling of like your dad being the dude and like, man, like I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I wish my dad would have just like worked out with me and took control of his health. Just like when I see Colton in here the other day, front squatting and doing what he's supposed to be doing. It's like, I look at it and I'm like, damn, I'm glad I have this type of relationship with my son, that he's watched me so much. That's not a question whether I'm going to do it or not. I'm going to do it because it's who I see my dad is, and I want to go in that direction.
Yeah.
Sad thing is, like, my dad would like rock and roll in a lot of areas, and I wanted to be like him in a lot of areas. But then the main areas with having a relationship with God, but then also how he went and like vacations and things like that, and then take care of himself. Like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. And so I start going the opposite direction.
That's a huge piece of it too, is you've led by example. And then that's what a lot of men are frustrated with. Yeah, my kids are eating this and they turned out to be this way. And yeah, my wife, she said she wants to eat this way, but and then the dudes are taken with her. He's taking her out to the places. He's grabbing the fast food. He's buying the groceries and putting that. Like, yeah, you might not be physically feeding it to your kids, but you're supplying it and putting it in front of their face, and then you're eating it too. And so it starts with you. You've got to lead by example, and then all these other areas in your life are going to fall into place.
Well, dude, we were talking about the other day was like the kids that we mentor. It's like they're bringing these fat dads are bringing donuts to kids and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, the kids are happy that they're getting donuts in that moment. But how much are they taking from you listening to you?
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, and I know that like when we come to our table, those dudes are listening to everything we have to say, so much so that they're hitting us up and going like, hey, we'd like to come and work out in your gym.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're like, hey, you're the epitome, and you're not even walking it, but you're talking it. And I don't experience that with my dad.
Yeah.
And I would love to be able to get in and work out with you guys, just get around you guys more. Yeah. And so we did what we needed to do. We got them in here.
We just I was training the youth pastor yesterday, and he goes, hey, I don't know what y'all are doing with Tate. He's talked way more to me than he's ever talked before. He's like, the confidence that I see in him is that he's a completely transformed person.
I noticed that the other day at the table too. It's like he just had a different dude.
Just a different dude.
Because we speak truth into him, just like we're speaking into the audience right now. Is it's like
we broke him out of that box.
Yeah, like
he sees what he's capable.
Like you can sit back and just be like a regular old dude and not stand up and not have your talks and not have your feedback and just be like, okay, whatever. Or you can see that your life is like you're a weapon for Christ, and he's wanting to use you, but he's not going to use a fat weapon that he can't fit into his barrel to shoot off. He's like, I can't fit this barrel in there, so I'm going to have to use Christian again. I'm going to have to put some other savage that wants to go out and put the work in for me, because I can't get you up a little bit earlier. I can't get you to put the food down and get out of the pantry first thing in the evening time. Like, it's like, I don't like being that way, but at the same time, like, I know what it is. And so, like, nobody's listening to you.
The sad part too, bro, is it's a sensitive subject, and there's probably people that have already turned this video off as soon as we start talking about your body. And those are the people that are going to continue to be miserable and stay stuck where they're at. But like, it's sensitive because you care.
Yeah.
If you didn't care, then you wouldn't be sensitive to the topic. And so, listen to the guidance that we're telling you to actually finally take action on this.
So here's the path. Here's the way we would do this. Is like we're putting together a 100-day challenge, and we like, what we know is fitness and nutrition. Like, we're going to start it off with basic levels. This basic level is like, you've got to pass this phase 1 level before we give you anything else with like fitness and nutrition. Because that's what we've seen is guys, they don't have the capacity to take on more. And so we got to start creating more by small pivots. And so we start to like look at in the evening what needs to switch, in the morning what needs to switch, start giving you some options around your food. And these slow pivots will start to open up your eyes and wake you up to what the possibilities are, physically and mentally, going in and changing the way that you operate. And over those 100 days, we also have something called the Bible Stack. It's something that's changed the game. How long are you in the Bible and the Bible Stack? Like maybe 20, 30 minutes it takes you to get done?
Yeah.
And so like I think a lot of guys are reading more and more and more and more in the Bible, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But if you're not taking anything from it and you're doing it for a performance thing to check a box to make yourself feel good, then you might as well not even read it. I'm just being real with you. But if you're starting to get into it and use the frameworks that we use around the Bible Stack of what you need to start doing, stop doing, sustain doing, but only taking that through a verse, that's another side of it. So then now we're physically and mentally getting you set up with our workouts, but then also we're getting you in the Bible Stack and teaching you nutrition. Now we got those phases that you start to build yourself across. And then we have our core 4, which we're going to give you predictive power that you tap into in the morning. This is phase 1 of everything that we're doing for a 100-day challenge. And after that 100 days, you come in, you follow the plan, you do the things that you know you need to do. You're going to see changes across the board. And now you're going to see what else
you're capable
in those
of.
other areas. I need to start killing these other versions off. And it's just going to open you up to something different. So it's just 100 days. After that 100 days, you can just say you can leave it or you can love it. If you love it, then let's move forward. Let's keep rolling. If you leave it, then that's fine. But at least you're going to learn a lot. And you can stay inside the app and continue to work and do all the work that you've learned over those 100 days inside the app and continue to really, if you're a dude that has taken control of himself and starts to become a different man, then you will follow through a lot more, and you probably can follow the continue to grow. Like obviously, there's going to be more to what we build out, because like the impossible games is what we want to get our clients to, and our guys that come in is to understand that there's an impossible version of you in your body, in your relationship with your wife and kids, in your relationship with God, and in your business and in your career. There's an impossible version that you can't figure out and you can't see how to get there, but you got to start taking those steps, and that's what we want to lead you to. So that's it for me. Man, we would love it if you give us a 5-star review and share this with your friends. At the same time, you can hit us up on social media. I've got a few different things that we've given away with the Bible Stack, but also with the Drive Protocol. So if you're struggling with like testosterone and you just feel like crap, that's something you can take action on. Those are in my bio on Instagram at Seth.P.Humphrey, and then on Facebook as well at Seth P. Humphrey. Those are both in both of my bios. You just go in, click the link, and you can download the Bible Stack. You can download the Drive Protocol and get taken care of there. Why don't you give your socials?
My Instagram is boo_train6. And anything, fitness related, nutrition tips, that's where you can find me at.
Yeah. So I know that this is like, who's this dude think he is? But at the same time, it's like, I know what I'm called to do, and I can sit back and I can just do what everybody else does and not say anything to hurt your feelings, so I can get some listeners, or we can really talk about the stuff that's holding you back, and we can point you in the right direction and give you the path of what you need to do to start implementing and getting some action. So and getting some results, and that's ultimately what we want to help you with. We'd love for you to jump in the 100-day challenge with us, and let's go from there. For Seth Humphrey and Christian Long and Seth Humphrey, talk soon.
Turning less chaos into power. This is a relentless game. I've been up grinding 10,000 hours. This is a relentless game. Always put my faith inside a